because it's not a ploy. In fact, it's very dangerous. And unfortunately, many Christian families aren't aware of what's happening with their children. They're actually allowing their children, Christian families are allowing their children to get involved in the music that's literally filling their mind with evil. Now, we need to be very protective of our mind. Our mind can be, especially young people's mind, this is the market of the rock music, is the young people's mind, the youth. They're very pliable, they're very impressionable, and the music infects their mind and moulds their lifestyle. And that's why the scripture says we should always think on things that are lovely, that are pure, and those things that are going to benefit your mind and give you healthy thoughts. But these satanic inspired rock music, this satanic inspired rock music infects the mind, and the mind is transformed and changed because of the evil that comes from them if you're not aware and you don't resist that kind of information from affecting your mind and your children. So, see, how are we going to look at rock music? Are we going to see how it's affected society? Let's take, for instance, the impression of rock music throughout history. I refer to the time mainly. I mean, rock and roll was alive before this, but the most devastating of the effect of rock music came during the era of the Beatles. Now, when the Beatles came in, the people so worshipped them, something that is against God, something that's wrong. You should never worship any person, any human being. You should only worship God. But they worshipped the Beatles, and you can see the kind of worship they were involved in. In fact, they admit by calling them rock idols. But people screamed and just they adored them, gave them their money, gave them their time, gave them their worship and adoration by multitudes gathering together in masses and crowds and masses. And what happened? The Beatles started to engage and dabble in drugs. And just like it was breathed into the public, drugs became a problem, and multitudes of people began to get involved with the drugs, including me. So, how powerful is the influence of rock music in our society? It's something that we should be very aware that it has incredible impact on our youth, our children, and on the very fibres of our society. Now, getting to the point of the Bible. Does the Bible have anything to say about rock music? Does the Bible have any indication that the rock music was going to come into the earth? Was it spoken of prophetically? Well, I believe it was, and I'll get to that shortly. I believe that the Bible has a clear picture of this evil that was going to come into the earth. But first I want to talk about its effect, okay? The heartbeat of rock music, the heartbeat of the drug scene is the rock music. The rock music is pumping the message of drugs. You might know it, but it's in the words. I've seen it in the words. It's in the actions. It's in the speeches. It's in the rock concerts. And it's no surprise to me and probably to you that rock concerts are a place where they're involved in taking, it used to be LSD, but now it's ecstasy and many other things that they get involved with, including marijuana and all kinds of illicit drugs and cocaine and so forth. So they go together. They're twins. They work together, and one breathes the other into operation. So my point is, the heartbeat of rock music and the heartbeat of drugs all pumping together, and they're twins. They work together. So the heartbeat of the drugs is the rock music, and the heartbeat of the heartbeat of rock music is the drugs. They work together. They pump the same evil message into society. Okay, so now I want to take an opportunity with you to contemplate what the scripture might say about it. I believe the book of Revelation has a clear picture of these people, and I'm going to interpret it for you. I'm going to start on a series of tapes, talk about the impact of these people and how the Bible describes them. I mean, you remember the Bible, the era in which the Bible was written in. It was written many, many years ago. It's 2,000 years since Christ has died on the cross, and the Apostle John, if you imagine for a moment the Apostle John, the world he lived in, there was no electricity, there was no electric power of any kind, and technology was very minimum. So for him to try and describe some of his visions, what he saw, would be very difficult. Would you agree? Well, let's have a look at the book of Revelation. Let's read the scriptures that I have before me, and we'll begin with Revelation 9 verse 1. We'll begin from 9 verse 1. And the fifth angel sounded, and I saw a star fall from heaven unto the earth, and to him was given the key of the bottomless pit. And he opened the bottomless pit, and there arose a smoke out of the pit, as the smoke of a great furnace. And the sun and the air were darkened by reason of the smoke of the pit. And there came out of the smoke locusts upon the earth, and unto them was given power, as the scorpions of the earth have power. And it was commanded them that they should not hurt the grass of the earth, and neither any green thing, neither any tree, but only those men which have not the seal of God in their foreheads. And to them was given that they should not kill them, but that they should be tormented 5 months. And their torment was as the torment of a scorpion when it strikes a man. And in those days shall men seek death, and shall not find it, and shall desire to die, and death shall flee from them. And the shapes of the locusts were like unto horses prepared unto battle, and on their heads were as it were crowns like gold, and their faces were the faces of men. And they had hair as the hair of women, and their teeth were as the teeth of lions. And they had breastplates as it were breastplates of iron. And the sound of their wings was as the sound of many chariots, of many horses running into battle. And they had tails like unto scorpions, and there were stings in their tails, and the power was to hurt men 5 months. And they had a king over them, which is the angel of the bottomless pit, whose name in Hebrew tongue is Abaddon, but in the Greek tongue his name Apollyon. One woe is past, and behold, there comes 2 woes more hereafter. Okay, here we have a description of certain people that are described, and let's go back and break this up step by step. Imagine the Apostle John transported in vision into a modern day rock concert. Now, if you have been around in the world for very long, you would have known that most heavy metal or any kind of rock music, you see them, the rock stars come onto the stage and they come out of smoke. Smoke pours out, and they start to do their thing. And what they do in that period of time that they're on stage is literally and completely under the impact and power of demons, devil spirits. They are possessed. Now note that the scripture said here, and the fifth angel sounded, and I saw a star fall from heaven unto the earth, and to him was given the key, unto him was given a key of the bottomless pit. Now I believe this being is Satan, or one of his major angels, one of his major demons. He is given the key to open the bottomless pit, because it says here it's clearly a person, because this star that falls down is given the key to open the bottomless pit. Okay, so he opens the pit, and what happens? And he opened the bottomless pit, and there arose smoke out of the pit, as the smoke of a great furnace, and the sun and the air were darkened by reason of the smoke of the pit. Okay, out of this terrible pit, and demons coming onto the earth, how did they come and express themselves? You see, demons in the Bible express themselves through human